Yes, everyone, welcome to this week's Wind Down, our latest segment that is exclusively on YouTube, where we, continue a conversation that we may have started previously on the show. We didn't fully get to flesh it out. So we're having a little wind down here and we're chatting with y'all. And of course, we invite one of our lovely former guests to chat with us. And I'm so excited this week because the topic is juicy. And we got one of my faves. If y'all don't know this man's music, like I swear to God, like y'all are sleeping out here on Montreal Artists because we got the dope, the amazing recording artist, entertainer, all around. Just I can't because it's YouTube. I can't say what I want to say, but dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Bradley Franks in the building.
Thank you so much for having me back. Actually,
Yes, we love having you here, Clarence. It's Are you ready to do this? Because it's
I'm ready, man. Always,
all right.
always.
Because
let's get into it.
I know you had some experience on both sides. So I can't wait to hear.
Putting me on the spot like that.
Okay, so today's topic, guys, is why do some white men prefer black women? We had this conversation a few weeks back on the show. It was based on some TikToker. Y'all know I don't be TikToking, but some big famous I don't know what that meant, but okay. He was taught this guy from TikTok who people seem to know. He had a whole rant about why he dates black women, and he was white, by the way. He was expressing himself and saying some of his preferences and the things that draws him towards black women. Basically, some of the benefits he expressed that he finds them more supportive. He expressed that he has better conversations with them. uh it was a lot of things that as a black woman I was like, right, for sure, yeah, exactly, that's and then I could imagine that maybe if you're a white woman that wasn't your favorite video. You know what I mean? And then a lot of people on the Breakfast Club were calling in. They had a conversation about this, and kind of saying the fact that black women are like anchors in a sense, and they're kind of tough on you, and they don't let you get away with certain things, and some people prefer that. In your
Mm.
opinion, you guys are both men. I'm not. You got
Mm.
Is there a have you guys seen a sort of benefit to dating black women versus other type of women?
Man, Bradley, you trying to start?
Who's gonna- Yeah, I'll start for sure. Well, definitely. For me, I don't look at it as necessarily a benefit. I go with what I prefer. What I'm attracted to at that. At that part of my life when I meet you, right?
Mhm.
So, like before I met my girl right now, I was seeing another black girl basically. But before her, I was seeing a white girl. And it's just depends on where I'm at that time
Mhm.
in my life. You know what I mean? For me per se. And
Mm.
definitely there's differences though between the two. You know what
I
I
was
mean?
gonna say,
Like,
was there some
you
tangible
know,
differences?
like some tangible. Well, the thing is that because being black, like if you're somebody that wants to be, how to say, connected culturally, especially through music, through certain things like that. You can definitely, how to say, well, white people, it's white girl, it's harder to connect. Like for example, I was dating this girl and she had never seen the movie Friday,
Oh my.
so I was just like, I was just like stunned. Like, when you're just like stunned onto it, you're just like, but this is like, it's like part of pop culture. Like, how do you not know Friday? Like, white or not? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you not know Friday? It's part pop culture. You know what I mean?
Listen,
Like,
I'm gonna interrupt you because, like, listen, the day I realized that some things that we consider classic were not all around classics, my world ended. Like I found this out with Coming to America. I was doing a project in university, and we started talking about. I don't remember why we're talking about movies, and I was just like, yeah, just like in Coming to America, and half of the group looked like me, and the other half didn't look like me, and the half that didn't look like me was like, what is that? I've never heard of that. Coming to America. I was like, you haven't seen Coming to I was shocked. My soul couldn't understand.
Right.
Like I was in the library. I remember this. I was on the fifth floor of the library. I told my friend, I'm like, we're taking a poll around the floor. I need to figure out if Coming to America is it a Black classic or is it an everybody classic. I found out that it was a Black classic. I thought it was an everybody classic because it used to play
Mhm.
on. It played on like
Yeah,
PBI, like,
even on French TV, yeah, especially in French, even on French TV and things like that. But you have to keep in mind that not everybody, like, let's say you just turn on the TV and you're seeing this black man, so not everybody's, all these white people, they're not gonna just stay tuned, you know what I mean, and watch him. You know what I mean? It's not everybody, especially way back in the day. You know what I mean? Hell no, they didn't give a fuck about Eddie Murphy. Like young white kids, didn't really give a fuck about Eddie Murphy. Not the ones I knew. Anyways,
Have you heard this video of this young man explaining why he likes?
I saw it. I did see the video, and I really didn't pay attention to it when it was circulating because honestly, for me, I didn't really care because I don't like those kind of like pandering videos. You know, whether it be from like white men to black women, or from, let's say, black men to white women, or
Yeah.
any other combination. Because I'm just like, I feel like I don't see any other race tangle between this kind of stuff other than black people. You
Because the
understand? You know what I
thing,
mean? Like I don't
the,
see any like no. Well, I guess we black people we like intermingle with everybody, but I don't see this as an. It's not an issue for any other race of people except for black people.
I don't know what you mean. Like, what do you mean by issue?
What I mean by issue, I mean issue in the sense where it's like issue in the sense where all other races, I feel like to them it's normal to, be with each other. You know what I mean? Like they see
Oh,
themselves with somebody else. They see themselves with
right.
somebody, from their race, from like their culture, from their background, or from their, they have some certain understanding of certain things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's what that's what I get as a sense, especially when you go around other communities of people and things like that. Like obviously there's gonna be interracial dating in every community. It is
Yeah.
what it is. But I feel like it's just so in your face with black people for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't
but
know.
you
I
know,
don't know if it's like we're targeted or anything. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead,
but
Chloe.
you know why? Just to add on what you're saying, you know why it's like that? Because since I don't know when, since way, way, way back, just the idea, and not only just being with a black man or women, vice versa, but like just the idea of being with a black person, it's always taboo.
Mm.
So
Uh,
Especially
on
for
the
white women being with
yeah,
black men.
especially yeah, exactly.
exactly. It's
So
like
that's
it's
the
like
reason, and even till this day in 2021, it's still like that. Sometimes I hear some people doing interracial dating, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know, it's my first time with a black man or black women or whatever," and like for them, it's brand new. And the other thing too about the video, I agree with you. I'm like that too. I don't really like the viral aspect of videos and all that, but
right.
I actually
I
like I actually like that video for a specific reason.
Wait, before
And
you get into why you like the video, I'm gonna play a little bit of it just because I think that people watching might not have heard it, and I'll let you say why you liked it.
A lot of people have been DMing me and asking me why I prefer black women. Let's break it down. If you see my account, you'll know the stuff I like to talk about. A lot of sociology. In my experience, I have better conversations about that with black women. That's because it affects them. It doesn't affect white women as much. They don't think about it. 90% of the time I see somebody really talking spicy on this app saying something I really agree with, it is a black woman. Also, black women don't have an issue with my friends. I've had multiple white girls be like, why do you hang out with so many black people? That's because black people don't ask me dumb questions like that. Also, I was a criminal for a long time. I think a lot of white girls like drug dealers because it's cool. They don't really care about you. This is just like a game for them. White women will let you self-destruct. Told a lot of my friends that they didn't listen to me, and that's exactly what happened. Black women seem to genuinely care and want me to do better. Also, this is a little newscaster voice. It is exclusively for job interviews, court, and talking to girls when they're mad at me. So I don't feel that comfortable around white people. I feel like black people laugh with me and white people laugh at me.
yeah,
Those are all very valid points.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And what I was about to say why I like the video is because I don't know where it's coming from, if it's sincere or whatever. But anyway, that's not the point. But like, he didn't say any corny shit. to be honest. Usually in the type of video when you hear this type of dude talking, it's like, oh man, I like black women, they got fat ass. Oh, I like black women, man. The dark skin
Sexualize
is
them.
like the
Yeah.
black of the berry, the sweeter the juice. He
Mm,
didn't say nothing corny. He said
Mhm.
valid points, to be honest. And that's what I liked about the video. And if you pay attention to when the callers were calling in on the Breakfast Club, they were saying valid point too.
yeah.
So me personally, I'll talk for my personal self. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody that know me, I ain't gonna cap or whatever. Like, yo, right now, my girl, like that's the first black girl that is actually my girlfriend that I'm going out with and all that. Before I used to go with Latinas and like I went out with one white girl, but there's an aspect of it that even though I didn't have no beef or no issues or whatever, but there was always that aspect that yo, sometimes culture wise we not
Mhm.
on the same page. And I always say that, yo, if at least I was with a black girl, she would understand me on certain aspect because sometimes there's some situation that you're going through, you're just not on the same page with when
Exactly.
racial dating. And on top of that, to be honest, I'm not gonna, but that's my personal experience. That's my first experience with a black woman. Like, yo, black women, and I got sisters too. Don't get me wrong. And like black women, like if shit get real, they got your back. Even though if you're in the wrong or whatever, they got your back. They have a certain understanding
Write her down.
of like when you're going through certain situation because black women, like we've been talking about it on the show, they go through a lot
Mhm.
and they always solid. So they'll make sure that yo, you get your shit straight and that like yo, if there's something like no matter what, they got your back, good time through hard time. I'm not saying that other races they not like that.
Right.
But women they start at minus million when either for jobs or whatever it is. They always like they got a lot on their back, so they have a certain understanding. So that's why I can understand where that guy was coming from in that video.
I would I would speak a little bit from the black woman perspective here. Hearing that is it was like a catch 22, and even hearing some of the comments that you both have made, a lot of it is triggering. And the thing is, black women have so much trauma that they're carrying. It's unfathomable, like to
Mhm.
kind of like really picture it. Um, a lot of the stuff that he was mentioning, it's true, but it's also sad because it shows you that a lot of times black girls and black women have to grow up really quick. They're kind of
Mhm.
told to be caretakers. We
Mm.
learn to
Mhm.
give to others first and then think of ourselves. So yes, you're gonna feel really safe in the arms of a black woman because they were instructed to do so. This was the first thing that is in your mind, and it's to like uplift the black man, protect the black man. And hey, if you get a white man, you better just kiss his feet all over, because I mean at the end of the day, we are that's our role. And they always say this, like, oh, black women is the backbone of society. It's like it takes a lot to be a backbone, honey. Like it's not like
It
it's not
does.
it's not something that's light, and it's
And
and we take pride in that, and being the strong ones, and being the ones that is able to like uplift you and make you feel good, and give you that motivation to go out in the
mhm.
morning, have those great conversations with you, even when we're tired, be available for you. We take pride in that. But I think that what a lot of black women want is that appreciation, and sometimes they don't get it.
Mhm.
Nowadays, we're starting to get some of that recognition and that love. We recently had a guest on the show, Romeo Wilson, who was really big on speaking about that, and I thought that that was beautiful. I think that it's good that we're kind of seeing a shift in that narrative, and I appreciated what that young man said, even if it's if whether it's sincere or not. He's a viral TikToker, so that's more messaging that's coming
Mhm.
out, and I don't feel like he took the opportunity to bash any other race of women. You know what I mean? He was just
Mm.
speaking about his own preference, and it's a preference that made sense because it wasn't based on some pure, um, frivolous stuff. It was
What was it? What was it out of curiosity? What was it?
what was what?
What was his preference? What did he say his preference was?
Well, his
Or
preference
are you
was
speaking about? Are you speaking? Oh, I thought you were speaking about the white guy, or are you speaking about Romeo?
no, not Romeo. No.
Okay.
One guy.
I was like, I feel like there was something in there, but I'm gonna smooth right on past that. Um,
Right.
but
But
what
the other thing too, man, it's not only a black woman thing. It's for black men too. I feel that when we're doing interracial dating, especially with white women, I don't want to put the focus on white women, but I feel that sometimes they think that we on the fence depending on the situation, but we just misunderstood because they need to understand like, yo, where we coming from, there's certain shit like that's not how we roll. So the same way we get into their world, they need to get into our world too. That's the key thing I feel in interracial dating or relationship.
mm-hmm. But I also find that for you guys, for black men, there's a lot of pressure to, or maybe not anymore as much, but there was a lot of pressure to date outside of your race or to upgrade
Not
out of
really.
your race. Well, I mean,
Well, I would say it's more due to like, especially like me, right? When it comes to music, things like that, you're bombarded. Depending on the kind of music you listen to growing up, what kind of entertainment you were into growing up, you're bombarded with a certain image, right?
mm,
So that image is what gets perpetuated throughout your life. And then subconsciously, you don't even understand. Like, it's crazy because you get to I got to a certain age where I realized subconsciously that I was desiring like women of other races, but not like I didn't understand why I just naturally found them better looking than, let's say, a black girl or anything like that. You understand? Like I like, let's say, like around like high school, right? I had this like, yo, I thought like Latinas were like the hottest thing, Asian girls, that kind of thing. Those were the hottest things, right? And then
think it was due to the media propaganda.
exactly, and then you're just thinking like, but then why? It's as you get older, you start to think back like, well, why was I thinking that way? You understand? Like, why was my brain just automatically going that way? Because I have a mom. I love my mom. You understand? But then why wasn't my natural instinct to be like, okay, well, like let me, I guess, like where's my attraction? I guess to black women. Where is it coming from? You understand?
Do you
Until
think
then,
that
like,
has?
cause
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, I was gonna say because like we didn't have a lot of like the schools that I went to before, like when I started going to school in the South Shore,
Mm-hmm.
there wasn't a lot of black people basically like in the school at all, right? So then it's like you're just already then limited by what you're seeing, by what you're experiencing. Like me in my class, there wasn't even a black class. There wasn't even a black girl in my class. I was the only black guy, basically. You know what I mean? So it's like already there, you just forget that. So when you're already in a certain environment where you don't even see that,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for you to, how to say, envision that. And then when you look at media and things like that, well, they're not being represented anywhere either. You know what I mean? So it's like, where is your image of this, I guess, black woman that you're supposed to be like fawning over, attracted to, or whatever? Because don't forget, we're not in the US, right? So it's, it's like we're already limited with the kind of black images that we were seeing. And then when you did get access to like the BETs and things like that, when I used to travel to the States and things like that, and then we got like the illegal satellite, then your media starts to change because, oh, I mean, look, I'm seeing media from the States now, and the commercials are different, the shows are different, the people that I'm seeing in these shows are different. It's shaping my vision and my likes now differently, basically.
Do you think that now, because there's a bigger movement of uplifting black queens, and even like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there are black women in the media, and there were before, but they weren't really uplifted the way maybe other people were. And now that there's the different messaging, do you think like a young boy growing up now would have a better, like, well-rounded view of women, like you'd be able to find every type of woman attractive? Or do you think that black women are still kind of like seen as lower on the totem pole?
I think it definitely went up. It's definitely went up in terms of just awareness and visibility for sure. But a lot of it, don't forget, like young men, what like when you look at what's driving them, what's like on their mind most of the time is the fact that look at the music, right? Listen to the music, listen to who they're influenced by. And then now with social media, they can actually see these people. So now when they're online and they're seeing their favorite rappers, who are their favorite rappers going after? Who are their favorite rappers dating? Who are their favorite rappers? Like it's good. Like you look at a little baby today, and it's great that his girl is a dark skinned girl like Jada. You know what I mean? Like it's actually great that he like it's like you can see the black light, like the black love. It's not, and it's not no, and it's not like nothing. Like I said, nothing wrong with the lighter skinned girls either. But they were overrepresented in the media for a long time. If we're being frank, if we're being honest, when it comes to black women representation, the lighter skinned women were overrepresented. Even the light skinned men also. So now basically now that you see artists like I said, like a little baby, he has a dark-skinned baby mom, Jada. I not like she's just a nobody, she's popping, you know what I mean? She's a popping girl. Other girls want to be her. That helps. That definitely helps to shape younger men's minds, because they need people to look at role models. They look at like things that they want to be like. You know what I mean? If you like a show or something, you like a movie, you like entertainment, you there's something that you like about this character. And then there's a lot of traits that you like about this character that you want to identify with and things like that. So it's the same thing for the music and the young men. Yeah.
Clarence, you're bubbling. I felt the. I
No,
felt
no, no. I actually agree with him, but I feel, to be honest, it's just crazy how everything is back full circle. Because at one point, we talked about it before, but like and like you said, the representation of what we have in the media back in the day, it was like, okay, black women need to be like them European models or whatever, from the hair to the look on their face or everything. But now it's actually them Europeans that actually trying to be like us, from the braids. They're doing ass shots, be curvy or whatever. So now they're trying to rub us from a culture. So it's just crazy how influential we are. So I think, to be honest, just that it's something big already. Even though they will try to like hide it or whatever, or make it seem like it's a trend or whatever. But the black culture, we are super duper influential out
Oh,
there.
we sure are.
We popping out there. So I'm not right now, the shift that is going on, like we just been talking about. I'm not even surprised. But the only thing that I say though, I feel like in the future, still, like especially with now, because I've been looking at kids out there, like just by dropping my niece at school or whatever, there's a lot of interracial dating right now going on. And we all mingling up. It's not like back then where like Asian was still with Asian, Italian was still with Italians, Latina was still with Latinas or whatever.
Oh,
Like it's
we're
like
seeing the boom right now of all of the interracials,
yeah,
like all the, I would say mostly, I would say mostly black men, white women. I would say mostly the black men, white women couples. Like we're seeing like a lot of those couples that happened like a lot like a few decades ago, things like that. We're all seeing now their kids now growing up and all that. Like you said, there's a lot of mixed kids. Like I don't know if you guys have ever heard this song. It's from like a Quebec group, whatever, but it's called Ton enfant est brun. Comme ton enfant va être brun. Like that's what they call it in French. Like, and they're
It is
saying in
brown
the
for our English listeners.
well, yeah, no. So in English, it means basically like your baby's gonna be brown. Your kid's gonna be brown. Basically, talking about how in the future, like this is the world that we're going towards. Like everybody's intermingling regardless. You understand? So it's
And that
like
and there's nothing wrong with that. The thing that's triggering for me with hearing his message and then hearing some of the stuff that you guys were saying, it's almost like yes, like black women are all of these great things. You guys do this, this, and that, but it's like it's like you have to come to the. It's almost like you. Ooh, how do I say this without? You have to you have to get certain things out of your system, and then you come home to the black woman. You know what I mean? It's almost like
yeah,
the Jay-Z line. I was just effing them girls. I was gonna get right back. You know what I mean? It's like it's a little
that's a very great point.
offensive. Sometimes, like
That's
I'm hearing him, and I'm like, Yeah, it's like, yeah, of course, this is how you feel, but it's almost like it's like, oh, like
But you also have to you have to understand like the speed of it, right? Also, because if I take a page back, like once again me putting myself back in my high school shoes, right? Like I went to two different high schools in the South Shore. The second one I went to, there was a bit more like we're far less people, but still the same amount of black people in that school. But there was black girls in that school,
mhm,
and the thing is, basically, like the difference was I was like, let's say I was 13, I think, when I first got there. And the experience I was having with my friends at school, with like my white friends at school, because that's all you had, is basically white friends, is like the guy is like, they're already like, as soon as I got there, like the norm, like for these 13, 14-year olds in the South Shore, like these white kids, like they were already like hooking up and all that kind of stuff. Like it was like it was really like for me, it was a culture shift because I had come from a private school
mm,
and I went to public school, and like just from one year to the other, that's what I was seeing and experiencing. It was like, holy shit, it was like a really different shift. Like it was like all these 13, 14-year olds were like these little like mini adults, but they're just adolescents. They're just little adolescents, but they're smoking cigarettes, drinking, doing all this shit. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then it's like the black
white
girls
kids are special.
weren't they weren't doing that. Like they weren't doing that. So me as a young boy, I'm just following with the trend. I'm just like, well, I'm doing what they're doing. I'm smoking now. Now I didn't smoke cigarettes before I started smoking cigarettes. Started drinking. Started doing drugs. Like all I just got
Right.
into the motion, and then the girls that you're encountering at that time and things like that in your life, well, they're all white girls because that's what they're doing. That's what they're into. They're the ones like they could actually go out on a school night and hang out. You know what I mean? Like imagine you like back like this black girl like going out on a school night to do what? I'm sorry, go chill at the church. Excuse me,
Excuse me,
what are you
what are
doing at the church?
we
Like,
going?
what's going on at the church? Are you guys praying? No, like no, like that's not happening.
Like,
That's not happening. I
like,
was a boy. I was lucky. I was able to just like kind of do what I want to do because I was a boy. You know what I mean?
and that's the other thing. See, this wind down deserves a wind down. Like we could do a wind down to this wind down because I mean, there's a lot of aspects to this, but I'm like, yo, it's a lot of things that goes into making black women who they are and so like ride or die and so dedicated. But yes, it does make for great girlfriends, and sometimes people realize that, you know, after they've then run through everybody else, like, okay, well, this might be good right here. I mean, so you know, I mean, either way, we could go on about this all day, but we got Valentine's Day coming up. So if you do got a black queen in your life, you know, appreciate her, show her your love. If you got any other kind of queen, show her your love as well. I'm just saying,
Mhm.
you know, let's just all be loving, and we should not
Yes.
only be showing love on Valentine's Day, of course. Don't I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, you know, it's an
No, but it's a holiday for that. So like, you know, you
yeah,
gotta show out, you know.
exactly. Show out a little bit, you know what I mean? And I definitely want to thank you, Bradley, for coming through. You know, I am a
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it.
you know, let everybody know where they can find you, keep up with you.
You can find me at R&B Prince on my social medias, Bradley Prince on my streaming services. Yeah, and I got a new record coming out. I was trying to bring it out for Valentine's Day until I realized that Valentine's Day falls on a weekend. So then I was like, well, that's not going to work with the streaming services. And I was like, well, let me rethink it because I was not too sure, but it's a fire song. You guys stay tuned. You guys are going to see.
I believe. All right, guys. So don't forget, you can listen to full episodes of Breakdown Slowdown. We drop every Friday. Link is in the description of this video. We'll see you guys next week.